Today I want to share a story. A couple of years ago, I did 5-MeO DMT. It's a plant medicine that helps you leave your body. I had this experience because I really wanted to find a deeper meaning of my life. And I know that DMT is one of the most powerful plant medicine that many shamans use to help people break free from this bodily prison. When I went to it, the only intention I had was to surrender. So the shaman was very experienced. She guided me very well. And before the medicine, we did a meditative practice to be calm, to be relaxed, and to be in a state of centeredness. I was very scared going into it because I was watching videos. When people take it, they just go through all sorts of suffering. They were like in pain. Some of them were crawling on the ground, and I was scared of that. And I was expecting to do that too. And I was particularly scared because I have a, a loose shoulder joints. Like, it easily dislocates because I used to do jiu-jitsu before, and in one of the tournaments my shoulder got ripped out. And ever since that, if I put my arms in a certain type of way, it just comes out. So I was very nervous because I didn't want to lose my consciousness and then put my arm in a weird way where it pops out and then it's gonna have to hurt. So even I was prepared for that. I took my arm sling with me. I was expecting to do that. But I had a very interesting experience. So maybe I'm not sure it's because the shaman guided me with the meditation practice, so I was centered when I inhaled it. I'm not sure what it was. But anyways, the experience that I had was I was just inhaling it, and just like that, I was out. I was in this tunnel that I was going through. Like I was not in my body anymore, but I felt a movement of like as if I'm traveling. I'm like there was a velocity I could feel. When you're in a fast car and then you could feel the velocity. I knew I was moving. I was no longer in my body, so it was like a tunnel of red lights, and eventually I arrived at nothingness, just darkness. But I was aware that there was nothing. I was aware. I'm not nothing, but I was aware of the space. And after a few minutes, I returned, and I was told by my shaman that I was just in my meditative state. I was not moving. I was not wailing my arms, anything like that. I was just in a meditative state. I went to nothingness. That's what many yogi people they call samadhi. When you go into a deep state of meditation, there is nothingness. And this medicine helped me experience that state. And even when I came back, there was no thoughts. It was just pure silence. It was as if like my memory has been wiped clean. For some reason, 2 nights ago, this experience came back to me. I recollected the journey of my experience with 5-MeO DMT, and I realized something deeper. We have the power to slip outside this body at any moment that we want. It was a fascinating experience that I'm just realizing because once the medicine kind of wanes off, you start to return to your normal, and you start getting into this attachment to your life, attachment to your body. And this lesson was forgotten, or maybe was in the back. At any moment, we can choose to leave this body voluntarily or involuntarily at the time of death. So it makes me think, what different worlds are out there? Because I feel like we are programmable. It's very interesting to me, like how that happened. I'm just trying to relate it all. So let's just say this is a scenario, right? I was sitting, there's my physical self, and then I was inhaling. What happened to my mind? Where did it go? And where was I? Certainly not inside my body. Where was I? I'm still trying to find answers to that. So if you're watching this and you have experience with plant medicines, and you have done DMT before, and you had a similar kind of experience, maybe you can help me find answers to. But nonetheless, we have the power and the capability to go on a voyage. You don't need an airplane ticket. You don't need anything else. A spiritual place, a spiritual journey. But you have to be careful too, because these medicines are very powerful. They are not meant to be used as a recreational. You need a shaman. You need a proper guide to guide you through it. And you need to have intention for why you're doing it. I would like to do it again, but with the intention of spending more time in the place that I was, the nothingness. What's so fascinating is it nothing, the space of nothingness, the space of pure blackness was not boring. There was no labeling, there was no judgment, there was no this chatter. It was just silence. That's it. Silence, eternal silence. I could have stayed in that state forever, because it is just constant. There is no wants, there's no desires, there's no preferences. It was just a baseline level of calmness. And I do wish that we have this ability to slip into that state whenever we want without any medicine. But how can we do that? This video is not about me providing answers. It's more about me asking questions, because I don't know. And someday I hope to find these answers and perhaps share with you all. We are not just humans. We are not just this body. That I know for sure. Then who are we? Would you be interested in trying an experience like that, perhaps? Take the time to ask these deeper questions. And I believe that's where the unfound treasures lie. They're not in the deepest part of the oceans, maybe you can find gold. I'm not sure, but they're not in different planets. All the thought experiments can be done just with your mind. Your mind is an amazing computer that's connected to the cloud of the universe. So right now my mind is just browsing for these answers. And when I find these answers, I will update you all. Until next time, my friends, be fearless.